hot like this. There we go. That's uh-oh. We got a problem, Houston. Little old lightweight fishing rod. That's a good cat. Oh, mercy. What is up, everybody? So, took a little road trip this morning and got away from the lakes that I normally fish. And I want to try something just a little bit different. And I'm out fishing for channel catfish. It's the heat of the summer right now. Been 100 plus degrees here every day. The water is hot. It's kind of hot and miserable outside. You got to fish early in the morning, really late in the evening or at night. You can't really be out in the water on the heat of the day. It's just way too hot and miserable. Some good fish. Never fails. First one. All over me. Everywhere. Come off. Boy, they're just barely biting. Right there, those are channel cat, all down there. We just pulled up and tied off to a tree, threw a couple handfuls of range cubes out, and started catching fish. But there were fish here when we pulled in. I marked them. That's what the graph looked like when we pulled up. So I say we. I've got my cousin with me this morning here, Mr. Kevin Stone. We done a lot of fishing together over the years. A lot since we were little, but not something that we get to do a whole lot of anymore. So what I'm doing, we're in about 24, 25 feet of water, and I'm just lowering this bait all the way down till it hits the bottom. And then when it hits the bottom, I'm coming up about 4 turns and basically almost dead sticking, waiting for them to bite. And they're coming up off the bottom and hitting. We've caught quite a few fish sitting here, but they've all been small so far. And they're just barely biting, real light. So you got to kind of be quick on that hook set and really let in on them as soon as you get bit. I'm using these real light rods. They're real soft, and that way there's not a whole lot of resistance. But see, I just got bit again. Every time I set that rod down, I get bit. The way I've got this rigged is really simple. I've just got a treble hook tied straight onto the braid. This is 35-pound whisker seeker braid, and I've got a little rubber core sinker in there. This is one of those that you slide the line in and twist these little this little rubber insert on these tabs, and that's what holds it into place. I really would be better off with a little small egg sinker and a bobber stop to hold it in place, but I ran off and left those egg sinkers in the truck this morning and didn't want to drive back to get them and lose a bunch of time. So now there, I'm on the bottom, come up, This is a lot different than most of the channel cat videos that I usually do. I do a lot of shallow water fishing for channel catfish underneath bobbers. Don't do a whole lot of fishing like this, but this is a real good way to catch fish in summertime, especially when it's real hot like this. There we go. That's uh-oh. We got a problem, Houston. Little old lightweight fishing rod. That's a good cat. Oh, mercy. This is a good channel cat. Yeah. Not wanting to stay up. Mercy. If you're not getting bit there, come up just a little bit more. It seemed like well, that's kind of what was happening. Was I was coming up 4 turns, and then every time I'd put it in the rod holder, I'd get bit, and that rod holder's, you know, raising it up a little bit.
Fighter. It's fighting a lot more than its size for sure. Cattle cube action.
Yeah. Okay, I've got another one on.
I crossed those pictures the other day. Lake Fork, the giant stringer of catfish. Stick it in the mud. Stick it in the mud trail. Drive in there, stick it in the mud. Remember that dude?
Yeah. It's weird, they just come up and then go right back down. I think that may be a good one. Certainly a better one.
Yeah. It's not like the one.
Oh, he's foul hooked. Look. Be kind of careful dropping those pliers. They'll spook with that noise. There we go.
Otherwise, I find it right over. I really got a double.
There we go. There we go.
Good one.
I don't think it's as good as that big one I caught, but it's decent. Pretty close. Pretty close. I'm sure that this is not probably showing very well on the camera, but one of the things, these fish are just biting. It's so light. Even these bigger channel catfish, they're just barely pulling on it, and you have to really pay attention. Because you know, they're not going to just grab it and jerk the rod tip down to the water. You have to really be watching, and the minute you start to have any motion at all, then you set the hook. And if you're not really watching and paying close attention, you're not going to catch fish like this. So one of the most important lessons that you can learn about catching catfish is in this video. A lot of people think that to catch catfish, you have to fish right on the bottom or, you know, within a couple of feet of the bottom, and that is absolutely not true. So we were fishing in like 24 feet of water in this video. I was lowering the baits down to the bottom and then bringing them up anywhere from 4 to 6 turns off the bottom. I started out at 4 turns, ended up catching a whole lot more fish at 5 to 6 turns off the bottom. So I was fishing anywhere from, it's about 10 to about 16 feet, I guess, up off the bottom. So really just kind of almost right in the middle of the water column. If you look at that picture that I showed of the graph where all those catfish were stacked up, there were fish like halfway through the water column all the way down to the bottom. We just weren't getting bit on the bottom. There's probably something down there that they're feeding on. So when we brought those up further into the water column, we started catching a whole lot more fish. So basically the way that I rig is just like you see here. So basically what I've done is just put an egg sinker on the line. I've got the whisker seeker bead down below it and then a bobber stop down below that. And I just put that directly on that braided nylon line, no leader, no swivel, nothing else. And then that way I can adjust the depth of where that sinker is, keep it away from the bait, and then I just have that treble hook down on the bottom. It's a really, really simple way to rig, and this is a really easy way to catch catfish, whether you're fishing all the way down on the bottom or fishing for suspended channel catfish. Especially this latter part of the summer, this can be a really great way to fish, fishing straight up and down like that. This is one of the most important lessons that you can learn about fishing for catfish is don't think that you got to be all the way down on the bottom, fishing right on the bottom or within a foot or two of the bottom. It is not uncommon to catch catfish way, way up in the water column, even just a few foot below the surface of the water. You want to fish where those fish are, you want to fish where they're eating. Next time you're out there on the water, think outside the box a little bit. Think outside of having to fish on the bottom, and you'll catch more catfish. Until next time, I'm Chad Ferguson, catfishedge.com.